What's up, guys? It is Shawnee Buzz Sports Guru coming to you with Hurricane Milton, the experience. We got winds, high winds, we got torrential downpours, we got the news on.
You can see that the water is coming in.
We've been hit with all kinds of warnings, you know, flash flood warning, tornado warning, tornado watch, hurricane warning, storm surge, bunch of stuff.
And you can see that the water from the
and the weather out here is just awful.
Is starting to in the Estero River. They all are in this area are starting to flood.
Like it's a Cat 3 right now.
Sandpiper Street in Naples, and the flooding there is really bad. Now, this is close to the coast, so it was expected, but this is the storm surge that's building in Collier County, where they had the least storm surge potential.
Like we had like one minute the storm's going this way, 1 minute the storm's going the other way.
It's going
like
to be
it
like
took
this,
a slight turn to Sarasota and Tampa, but then it just turned a little bit in again. And we're gonna get hit in Port Charlotte, Englewood, all that stuff with the outer, with the eye wall.
The traffic lights were out earlier when I was driving to work at like 1:30 this afternoon.
Oh man, just look at the sky.
The lights are going to be
the sky
down.
is just terrible.
For a couple of days, and come up to an intersection where the lights aren't working, treat it like a four-way stop. You stop, the other side stops, you make eye contact with each other, one lets somebody go, and then you go through. Do not think just because the traffic lights aren't working, you can just blow through the intersection.
All right, I think we're getting another check of the weather here with John Patrick.
We continue to watch the waves roll in, and, well, of course, our camera's frozen here out of Fort Myers Beach. We're looking from the Diamond Head and Goings beach resorts. I wanted to give you kind of more of a bird's-eye view looking down so you can see how far in those waves are crashing, and they are continuing to come on in with winds. I know Rob Duns was showing you a few moments ago.
Lemon Bay High School, Punta Gorda Airport, Charlotte High School, Port Charlotte High School.
A little bit elevated off the ground. So I went and found on our ABC7 WeatherBug network, we've got some sites in Charlotte County that are tracking the winds at the surface. We're seeing in Englewood at Lemon Bay High School a 39-mile-an-hour wind, and these are going to change in real time, so you'll see these numbers and wind directions change as we get the new data.
Oh, it's starting to vamp up out here again.
South wind at 45 miles per hour at Charlotte High School, south wind at 48 miles per hour, and in Port Charlotte High School right now, a little bit less on the wind at 19 miles per hour. But the gusts earlier this afternoon, I mean, again, these sites here at Fort Myers Beach, at Margaritaville and Diamond Head and Goldwing Beach Resorts, they're up a little bit, so they're a little off the ground. But 94 miles per hour is what the gust is at Margarita Beach Resort. Batesfield got to 77 miles per hour.
Oh, man.
A 65-mile-an-hour gust at Diamond Head and Goldwing Beach Resorts in South Fort Myers High School at 62. Some of the biggest wind gusts from today, including right now, and the tornadoes. And some of those rain bands.
Yeah, a bunch of tornadoes today. Lots of tornado warnings pop up all over the place in Florida.
And we had parts of the area out towards Sanibel Harbor. 5.83 inches of rain today. Port Charlotte High School.
Torrential downpours.
Inches of rain. North Fort Myers High School 3.44.
Well, the Tigers did beat the Guardians in Game 3, 3-0, so they're 1-1 away from the division series.
And move over the same area.
I mean, from the
individual cells.
league championship series.
We call that training, and that's what set up those kind of numbers. We're watching the Gulf of Mexico come on shore, but we're also watching the river levels from around the area start to rise as well. This is the Caloosahatchee here at the US 41 Bridge in Fort Myers. Right now, the latest reading at 2.04 feet. It is rising, and it's a minor flood stage right now. Flood stage is at 2 feet along that area of the Caloosahatchee. At the Imperial River, you just saw some pictures from Bonita Springs, some flooding there. The Imperial River is at 11.36 feet. Flood stage there is at 11 feet, so we are seeing
and the winds are just picking
up. The Imperial River around Bonita Springs as well. At the Peace River, now this is a little bit upstream at Arcadia at State Road 70, but minor flooding there. Flood stage is at 11 feet, 11.11 feet, the current reading there. And in Naples Bay, we've been watching the water rise there as well. Right now it's at 3.1 feet. It's a moderate flood stage. Flood stage is at 1.5
We're a little more inland in Charlotte County, so I would say we'd be pretty good. Unless something rather dramatic, something rather unexpected happened.
And coming in right now from mostly the south-southwest. It's 120-mile-an-hour storm. Should get another update here in about 20 minutes from the Hurricane Center. Pressure is at 948, and it's moving a little bit more slowly to the northeast at 15 miles per hour. This is still producing some really big waves and a really large area of some elevated wave heights, 27 feet in the Gulf of Mexico. And once you get closer to our shoreline, it's 14 feet high. So you're taking 10 to 15 foot waves and you're pushing them up against the coastline. So that's why it's spilling over into
so dark.
Lee and Charlotte County right now. This is the outer eye wall right here over
There it is.
far western Cape Hayes Peninsula, and we were figuring because the storm was going to be more expansive as it weakens, the eye was going to expand. We were saying even last night, we thought that this was going to maybe skirt and scrape portions of Charlotte County and even the Lee Island coast on the way by. So this outer rain band that you see right here, that's likely producing 75 to 85 mile per hour winds, hurricane force winds right now. That eye, kind of elongated, is 65 miles in diameter, 65.1 as I measure it there with our live Doppler radar. And you can see that those winds are going to hang around for a while because that outer eye wall is moving off to the north-northeast, and I think it could even scrape western DeSoto County with hurricane force winds as it moves on off towards the northeast to an eventual landfall a little bit later on this evening. Not a whole lot of rain for Collier County right now. We are seeing some rain bands set up. You can see these little lines of rain. And there are some gustier conditions in these rain bands, but the intensity of the rain is on the light side. So just some spotty sprinkles around Marco Island, around the US 41, or not US 41, Collier Boulevard, 951 is what I meant to say there. Some sprinkles along that intersection at exit 101 on Alligator Alley. And then as you head a little bit farther to the north, we are looking at some very light rain on the eastern side of Bonita Springs, some light rain over Fort Myers right now, and then this is kind of that outer eye wall right there with some more heavy rain and those gustier winds that are spreading just to the northwest of Captiva. But you can see here Englewood, Northport, Venice. You've got some gusty winds and you've got some pounding rain most likely on your roof right now with this outer rain band. And again, this is pushing off generally straight north, perhaps north-northeast if you take a look at it on a compass. But over towards Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda, you may get spared some of those strongest of the winds, but you're on the fringe of that outer eye wall, so you've got some rain, and you probably have got 50 to 60 mile an hour winds over you right now. And then there's another area of rain a little bit deeper in Charlotte County, and that's going to continue to orient itself off towards the northwest, and then over towards Moorhaven in Glades County, over towards Lake Okeechobee. There's another thin rain band, and all these are moving off towards the north for the most part. We're not seeing anything as far as tornadoes or any rotation in any of these, so I think that business is done for this hurricane as far as the tornadic thunderstorms, or at least the rotating, tornado warnings that we had dozens and dozens of earlier today. East of Immokalee, there's a little bit of light rain that's moving off towards the north, and as you work farther south towards southern Collier County, Everglades City, and those areas, it's just a few spotty sprinkles. So let's go ahead and take a look what's going to happen over the next couple of hours as this outer eye wall scrapes the very western portion of our area. There it goes into DeSoto County. So by 7:45, 1 hour from right now, you'll have that outer eye wall. It's going to fall apart a little bit because of the friction with the land, but you can see 75 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane force winds in parts of DeSoto County. We may get strong tropical storm force winds to 60 to 70 miles per hour in Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda, and even the northwestern section of Cape Coral could be in on those strong end tropical storm force winds as that rolls on by. As we get into 8:30, quarter till 9, I mean, that thing darn near looks like it'll be close to being onshore at that point. So we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. That is a very large eye of the hurricane, and the large eye wall kind of goes like this. The southern side of it, thankfully, is a little bit torn apart by the time we get into 8:45 because the land will rip it apart. This little area of red, that's where you're going to see the strongest of the winds. So whatever the advisories are with the maximum sustained winds at that point, they're likely going to be on that north and northwestern side of the hurricane. So as we go through the evening, our biggest threat continues to be the storm surge. We'll continue to watch the winds. You can see it goes from a 3 down to a 1 after landfall, and then becomes a tropical storm after that. Right now our winds are coming out of the south-southwest, but after landfall they're going to turn more southwesterly. So it looks like those areas that are seeing water rise right now will continue to see the water rise as we go into the evening and overnight. By 7 o'clock on Thursday morning, the wind's coming due west, so that's still on shore. But by the time we get into the afternoon, now we're going to add more of a northerly component. So that will start. It's not going to be the
So
ideal.
we should be good by tomorrow morning.
But at least when you add this northerly component, that wind is not coming perpendicularly to the beaches, at least most of the beaches in our area. So that will allow those floodwaters and that storm surge to recede back out into the Gulf of Mexico. By the time we get into Thursday evening and Friday, we're going to see more of a due north wind, which actually, as our cleanup efforts continue after this hurricane, that will allow humidity levels to be on the more comfortable side heading right into Friday night and Saturday. We do have a few little showers back in the forecast as we get into Saturday and the weekend. As we have winds right now, we talked about these winds gusting to tropical storm force strength still this evening, 40 to 50 miles per hour in Naples, 50 to 60 around Marco Island. Inland numbers will be a little bit lower, so we're going to concentrate here on coastal areas like we're in Sanibel